So Bosch continue to lead the way in e-bike innovation and performance. And today we're here in tropical Queensland as part of the Crankworx Festival. Bosch have had a huge display there all week with a huge test bike fleet. There's been people going out on bikes daily. And today we've got the opportunity to sit down with Ross Wilkinson from Bosch Systems Australia, and he's going to chat us through some of what they've been up to this point and some of the exciting things that they've got in store for us for the future. Ross, mate, thanks for sitting down with us today.
Hey mate, thanks for having me. It's good to see you again.
It is, and like what a spot, hey? Cairns is really turning on for us.
Oh, I know, mate. Everybody back at the office is pretty jealous of us coming up in Cairns for a work trip.
I can imagine. Now, mate, Bosch, traditionally every year you guys come out with a new range of products or innovation package. MY23 just got announced.
Yep.
Now, what are some of the things we got installed for us and we can expect to see hitting the Australian market throughout the next 12 months?
Pretty excited by Model Year 23. Okay. Obviously, last year we released Smart System, which is our real key focus for the Bosch e-bike system. But for Model Year 23, we saw the release of a few key products. A couple of products I'm really excited about is the new system controller. Okay, so a new system controller which pairs with our mini remote. So it is a Bluetooth wireless mini remote that will talk to the system controller.
Now I've noticed the remote, it's a much slimmed down version. I know we've had a lot of performance line motors come through on bikes and review at the magazine, and one of the things you kind of think is maybe a little cumbersome or a little vulnerable up there on the handlebars, that large display. Now it's great to look at, but something a little smaller could be, and you've gone and answered that.
Yeah. We've always been known as having displays, various sizes. Some of our displays are large and they display a lot of information, but the reality is a lot of our market, they really want that small minimalist design.
I think when you're hooking along the trail, you want your focus to be on the trail, but you still want to be able to see that information in a flash, so you sort of ticking both boxes there.
Mate, I'm a data geek. I love being able to see what's going on the screen, okay? But I realise that's not for everybody. Even now with our Kiox 300, you have the choice of removing the display. You don't have to use it, so you can take it on or off and the system will still run. With a new system controller and mini remote, and then you're going ultra minimalist. You're going tactile feel, micro button with a controller in the center of the top tube, which will display all your information via LED. And the real key thing that I love about this is that it's Bluetooth connected to the system controller, so completely cable free.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm excited by this. Yeah.
Now, e-bikes are getting smarter and smarter, but at the same time, what we're noticing, especially from companies like Bosch, is they're actually becoming more user-friendly, more intuitive. So you just get you on your bike, set it up, beep, beep, and then the riding experience takes over. You're not constantly having to manage these systems like a robot or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask, obviously with a new smart system that's just been released, a lot of people ask why we did it. I mean, why would we change from our Generation 2 system to our smart system? Because the Generation 2 system was great. We didn't have any sort of, there's no sort of technical issues there. Why would we change? But the problem, I guess the opportunity we saw with smart system is that we're now more connected and interactive with the rider than ever. So now we're actually empowering the rider more than ever. So now the actual rider themselves has the ability to do free over-the-air software updates through their Flow app.
Yeah, right.
So obviously the bike will operate by itself without the companion app, the Flow app, but the Flow app is what really takes the smart system into the smart world.
Right. So you buy a bike, take it home, and you can really tailor the bike and customize it to suit your needs or your style.
That's right. That's right. So everything you can imagine down to custom ride support modes, free over-the-air software updates. Another really key topic, which is important to me, this is I hate bike theft. I mean, who doesn't hate bike theft?
Of course, unfortunately, it's something we can't ignore, isn't it?
Yep, and e-bike theft is obviously, there's a lot of value in e-bikes, and more than ever, that whole topic of e-bike security is a high one. So also, for Model Year 23, we've launched the new Bosch Connect module, the BCM. So the BCM will actually sit hidden away under the drive unit and connects in. And inside that BCM, it actually has a standalone GPS device, a standalone cellular connection, and it also has a standalone backup battery. Okay, so that battery can support the BCM for up to a month.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So what will happen, you connect it, pair it to your Flow app, and in the event that your bike is moved or stolen, there's an audible alarm and you'll get an instant notification no matter where you are, obviously via the cellular connection, that your bike is being moved. And then, if the bike is taken, through the app itself, you'll be able to track the bike's movements and actually see where it's going.
Wow,
yes.
What a piece of mind, what a brilliant little innovation you've got to put in there. That makes a lot of sense, especially, I mean, an e-bike's an investment. You're not just casually strolling past a bike shop and pick one up because you're bored on a Saturday. It's something you put a lot of time and thought into it, and you're probably going to love as much as we love our bike. So
Yeah,
something like that, really, a little peace of mind, that's brilliant.
It's a huge investment, and if a person buys a bike with that sort of money, they want to know that they've got that extra piece of security.
Of course.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Now, Ross, one of the things I really was excited when I heard that we were going to get to chat to you about, I've been super curious. Now, online we've started to see a little bit about ABS brakes on e-bikes or on bicycles in general. Something that is exclusive to Bosch at this point. Now, we haven't had a chance to ride it yet. I believe there's very few units in the world, but some of our peers have had the opportunity online. I've been watching some of those reviews. Now, really, really interesting. And I'm a little bit curious, maybe skeptical, so it was great to have the chance to chat to you about it.
Yep.
Now, ABS, as I understand, in cars, pretty much all cars, once upon a time, there was no ABS. You put your foot on a brake, car would slide, a couple of tons of momentum going forward, very, very dangerous, uncontrollable. Yep. ABS came along and essentially feathers the brakes at crazy speeds and gets you to slow down in an incredibly efficient manner. And it's basically been adopted across all cars, including race cars. Now, how, when you translate to a bicycle, like I want to be in control when I'm under the brakes, is that going to take my control away, or is it going to give me more traction, or what are some of the performances and the feel, I guess, from your understanding?
Yeah, it's a great question, and the car analogy is a fantastic one, because you've got to remember, Bosch has a long, long history in ABS. This is not new to us. You've got to remember all of our years of automotive history. We're already in your cars, we're already on your motorcycles in terms of ABS. So in terms of ABS, as far as our business is concerned, this is not new. This is
really just
old.
adapting across.
Okay,
right.
And some may or may not know it. We've already had ABS in the market for a few years already, but in our European market, okay? So the ABS that we're bringing to market now is actually our generation 2, okay? Now ABS 1 worked really well, and it was an adaptation from our motorcycle ABS system, okay? And I'll be the first to say, it was quite complex. It looked like a bit of a bird's nest under your handlebars. You know, it was quite big and bulky. It worked, it was very effective. But why we are genuinely so excited about this new ABS system, ABS 2, is the actual size of the unit itself. It's small, it's tiny, compact. It's sub 200 gram extra weight, okay? You can mount it on a mountain bike, for example. You can mount it on the back of your fork. If you're running a cargo bike, you can mount it to the actual bucket, and obviously runs in line with the brake system. At the moment, it's running with Magura, but there will be more brake systems coming to market that we're going to partner with in terms of the ABS system.
Now, interesting, one of the things I spotted, or that I kind of learnt as I was checking it out, is that it only actually needs to affect the front wheel, or use the front wheel, because the rear wheel is the same. And so, yeah, some of the performance benefits, I guess, that a trail rider on loose traction or loose terrain is going to get, are they going to be able to slow up quicker, or just more efficiently, or more consistently, or what is it?
It's more control.
Okay.
And even I was surprised, because not only are we offering ABS, we're actually offering 4 different performance modes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's the part a lot of people don't realise.
It's a different kind of bike.
You can program it in through the system, and so we have like ABS cargo specific. It's the same system, but it's obviously software that changes. So we have cargo specific ABS, we have touring specific ABS, but we also have trail ABS. So that's the one that raises a few eyebrows, because we talk to people about this all the time, like, I don't need ABS on a mountain bike. That doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. But I can assure you, after trying it myself, when I was in a recent trip to Germany, it's a real eye-opener.
Oh, wow.
From the small experience I got to ride, it's amazing at how much later it allows you to brake. It really does make a difference. Wow. And I'm a skeptic at heart, mate. When this sort of stuff comes out, I'm always questioning, genuinely, I mean, how much is this a pitch, or how much does it actually really work? And I was genuinely surprised.
Mate, you and I have been around this scene for a couple of decades. I remember we would have had the same conversation when, what do you think about these dropper posts? Sure, we don't need that stuff. And now look at us, right? So
yeah, I think the craziest thing about ABS is that it actually works so well. Yeah. And if you're like me, you've got a lot of bikes. I think the biggest challenge is when you go back to your normal trail bike, actually remembering you don't have ABS anymore. That's where I see the challenge, because you get so used to the performance on your e-bike. Yeah. And let's face it, most people have multiple bikes. Correct. Not everyone just has an e-bike. Exactly. But yeah, I reckon having the trigger in the brain to remember, hey, I'm back on my normal bike, I don't have ABS, is actually something that you'll see that difference. Mate,
I'm genuinely looking forward to getting the first opportunity to ride that bike. My understanding is it's going to be rolled out on OE sort of into the future, so I guess watch that space, keep an eye on your dealer.
We'll see it's actually rolling out overseas this year for Model Year 23. In Australia, it's on the way. It's going to be closer to Model Year 24, but we will be doing it here in Australia.
It's coming though.
We're super excited. Awesome. So I've got a test unit at home. I'll be doing some
Sending
running
it
some
our
tests
way?
on it. Yeah,
Awesome. Mate, another thing I want to talk today, I'm a big fan of racing.
Yes.
The EWS, obviously E-Series is now a big, a growing part of the sport, and people are kind of figuring out how to govern e-bikes. Now, you guys, again, as kind of is your cliche with the brand, leading the way, and kind of always keeping an eye on the future and pushing the envelope. You've just seen, we've seen from Global just last week, a new Bosch Performance Line race motor. Now, without going into too much detail, what is it? And what's it all about? Will we see it in Australia?
100%.
Awesome.
Yep. So Performance Line CX race was just launched only 2 weeks ago. I was hoping we'd actually have one here at Crankworks, just for people to have a bit of a touch and feel a little bit early. But I think it's a real statement. Again, you know, we firmly believe in what we do. We firmly believe in e-bikes. A company the size of Bosch would not make such a big investment in e-bikes unless they knew it was going to be a long-term thing. But the CX race is a really big statement into the future of racing.
Is it kind of a way for you, the brand, to showcase what it's doing? Like the same reason brands go Formula One racing? Yeah.
I mean, you can see it. I mean, it's really funny in the whole world of e-bikes. They've already been around for a long time, but in the whole relative scheme of things, it's still a new category, you know? And when you talk about competition, e-bike racing is even more fresh, you know? So, but you can see the momentum it's really caught on just even in the last 12 months. I mean, I'm a fan, I pay attention as to what's going on, but just seeing that momentum that's grown in the last 12 months has been quite amazing. So then for Bosch to bring out a CX race drive unit for their specific Bosch athletes, so they've already been in the field already, obviously under a testing guise. There's obviously a lot of testing that goes into the works. But now the great news is they are going to be available to public. So they will be on selected brands. They will be quite exclusive, but I can guarantee you 100% there are brands coming into Australia that will have the new CX race drive.
You guys are relentless. You've got a lot coming over the next little while. I'm looking forward to it. Now, mate, when we talk about emerging categories, obviously e-bikes, I don't think anyone needs convincing that they're here to stay and that they're truly awesome. But one of the interesting kind of subcategories that's really gaining momentum is these SL. Mid-power, mid-weight, more kind to the ride feel of a regular mountain bike, but with that just enough power to kind of get you up the hill. Now, you guys currently don't kind of have an SL motor as such, but I guess what's Ross's take, what's Bosch's take? I'm sure you guys aren't on the sideline ignoring what some of the rest of the market's doing. Are you guys kind of making moves in that area? Is that something you guys think might stay around, or is it a fad? Like, where are we going with SL, do you think?
Like, of course it's something that's on our radar. I mean, if my personal opinion, I love the SL category. You know, I really do. I think it's awesome. Kind of what I just said, most people have multiple bikes. I genuinely see the SL category as a solution for the person that just wants the one bike. You know, they just have that one bike and they can go, do trail riding with their mates. Like, that's sort of that standard e-bike solution. The bike's lighter, a little bit more versatile in what they can use it for. So they can be able to get all of the experience they're after across all their bikes out of one bike. Turn on, turn off, etc. But I kind of find the reality is most people will have multiple bikes, because I've always maintained, there's always going to be detractors for e-bikes. But I've always maintained e-mountain biking, for example, I just see it as a different discipline. I still have an old Yeti DJ, that's my dirt jump bike. I've got an XC bike. Like, you don't need to get all, upset about it. E-mountain bike is just a different discipline, right? But I still see the push forward for full size, full power EMTBs is going to be the big segment. But the SL market is growing. And mate, it's obvious that it's on our roadmap. Bosch, we like to bring something to market, and we like to bring it to market at full noise.
Do it properly, not half-half.
We do it properly, and it can, to us, seem like a bit of a lifetime to bring something to market, but I guarantee you it comes with the right reason. We're German, we like to do things properly and by the book.
I like it.
So
watch this space.
Watch this space. There'll be some cool things coming in the future for sure.
Nice. Mate, Ross, thanks for chatting to us today, mate. Bosch e-bike systems are clearly pushing the envelope harder than ever. They've got a lot of exciting things on the way. Watch this space, keep an eye on your local dealer, keep an eye online. And mate, thanks again for taking the time to chat to us, and we'll be back with plenty more in the future.